Today is the Illinois Main Street Reporting Reinvestment Statistics, as well as the Google Groups listserv. Today we're going to be going over first a set of presentations that will give you demonstration on what types of areas that you should be reporting on, as well as giving you examples of items that can be reported on, and then finishing up with where these sources can be found throughout your community. After we conclude the presentation, we will be going online, and we will be doing a tutorial of the actual online website, where that you can locate all the information that we've just will be talking about from this point forward. The reinvestment statistics are collected by taking on 5 separate sections: the private sector investment, the public sector investment, business growth, job growth, and the local Main Street program contribution. Who uses these statistics? Well, of course, they are required by the National Main Street Center. They use them to provide a lot of statistics on the rural Main Street communities across the nation to help bring greater technical assistance to all of the programs across the nation. And the Illinois Main Street program uses these in their reporting functions, as well as giving a demonstration on all the wonderful things to the state, local, state, and nationally elected officials of the wonderful things going on inside your Main Street program. And lastly, I don't want you to downplay the importance of these statistics to you internally. They are invaluable for using for your own internal reporting methods, to attract new volunteers, for giving board presentations, as well as can be used in fundraising activities to show the growth potential for your particular program. We're going to start out with private sector investment, which is building rehabilitations, facade renovations, new construction infill, and the buildings being sold. In this particular section, when you're looking at building rehabilitations and facade renovations, you have what to include in the Main Street District is all facade, front of building, or storefront improvements, and all rehabilitation or renovation work not specified in specific to building a storefront. Examples of this type of reporting is in the more extensive building rehabilitation, including all the sides and the rear of the building. These are some examples that we've bulleted here for you to keep in mind. All new and/or replacement signage can be reported on. Awnings, windows, doorways, appropriate cleaning of exterior brick, tuck pointing, other enhancements, the wood masonry or other physical repairs to any building storefront, and of course the roof repairs in a large project also qualify. Other examples of rehabilitation improvements completed for any and all of the floors on the building's interior can include renovation construction expenses, elevator installation, painting, carpeting, plumbing, electrical. This is not an all-inclusive list, just an idea of samples and examples that you can use to report with. Now, where do you collect these sources? There's a variety of ways that you can come up with the investment dollars. The most optimal place to do this at is at the city village permit data, where that you collect that in your particular city. The property owner or building manager is the second best place to go to collect that information. In lieu of being able to collect it from one of these two sources, you may want to contact the primary contractor, or in some cases, you may just have to make your best, but make it your most conservative estimate. If as we are talking about reporting, we are doing monthly reporting for the Illinois Main Street program. As you have done in the past, they will continue to be required to be submitted by the 15th of each month. So you're going to be reporting on the previous month's activity. An example of this is tomorrow, December 15th. Your reports are due for November. The idea of the reports in November being done, it gives the Illinois Main Street program a snapshot of what's transpired over the past 30 days, as well as it will be an ongoing process so that the collection of the information is readily available and ongoing. The process of collecting that information could be possibly in phases. There's a variety of ways that you can do that. You can report each phase at the completion, or report the total value when the project is completed, whichever makes it easiest for you to make sense of the project and keep track of where it's at. Whichever way that you choose, as the last point says, please do not make every effort to not duplicate the reporting of data. New construction and infill. This includes all new construction. This examples would be new infill buildings, as well as new additions of leasable space to existing buildings. So if it's new, it can be included in this particular heading. Sources again for this are similar to the previous bullet. City and village building permit data, property owner or building manager, and again, if you are not able to collect the data from the first two bullets, the primary contractor would be a good source, and if all else fails, use your best and most conservative estimate. As you can see by these two reporting sources and examples, it's important that you collect as much of the data and be as factual as much as possible, but it's also important to be all-inclusive. Just because you don't have the most accurate data at hand on the particular reporting period, please do your best to report data so that it fares well for your program, showing the wonderful things going on inside your community. And again, if the project is completed in phases, make your best judgment as to how that you want to complete the project, whether that be through over the course of the phases, if it goes over 1, 2, 3, or more months, or if you just want to wait till the conclusion of the project and include the total project cost at that time. And again, avoid duplication of reporting data. Buildings sold. Closed real estate sales are examples, as well as property transfers. Examples are all buildings that are sold, vacant downtown land that is sold. You can identify vacant land within the comments additional details section as such, and we will talk about that more in detail when we go through the actual tutorial. Investment dollars can be obtained from the county recorder of deeds, from the county assessor, from a seller or buyer of property, from the city or village government real estate transfer tax if it's applicable in your city. Sometimes it's published in local newspapers in some cities, so if it's applicable, you can collect the information from there. And again, from my experience, the last two bullets, these are infrequent in most of the Main Street communities. Okay, are there any questions at this point? Judy? Judy had her hand raised, but I don't see her at this point right now. Let me go back. Mim Evans has a question. How do we value self-help? And Mim, I'd like for Mim to clarify that a little bit. If the business or building owner is doing the labor themselves, basically, if it's going to be the building owner doing it themselves, you can set a minimum wage requirement if you would like to do that. You can look at competing prices as to what the building owner thinks that they have saved in doing the project themselves. If they would have had to pay a contractor, you can use that as the in-kind. Including residential, yes, Judy, I do see your question now. Sorry that didn't come up there at the time that I needed to see it. The residential can be included, of course, if it is in the Main Street district. Okay, and Daryl, we are just getting started. We're at the second bullet point of public sector investment. We've just looked at private investment. Okay, moving on. With public sector investment, the number of projects that we have well, we've got just a little bit of a minor difficulty here as we move forward. Trying to open up a little bit of audio. If you want to raise your hand, I will now be able to answer you through audio. Seemed to be a minor glitch in the system, as does happen a lot of times when you use the best of the best technology. The public sector investment for it will be looking at the number of projects as well as the total dollars spent. What you want to include for the Main Street District, again, is all public improvements, both large and small. Examples of this are streetscape project, park benches, banners, flags, sidewalk improvements, street lights, infrastructure improvements, trash receptacles, and bicycle racks. That is by far not near an all-inclusive list. However, that tends to be one of the more common ones that are reported with. Investment dollars can be collected, obtained from the city and village departments of public works, streets, or parks. Many of you know who these individuals are and should be on first name basis with them, and it should be easy to collect. Again, the ability to report on phases is either report each phase at completion or report the total value when the project is completed, whichever makes sense for the project. Please, again, try to avoid duplication of reporting data. Business and job growth. This is, from my perspective, is one of the easier ones to collect, and it definitely can be one of the funnest because it's just getting out and talking with your business district. You're going to be looking at the number of businesses opened, the number of businesses closed, the number of business expansions, relocation, and/or ownership changes, as well as full-time jobs created and part-time jobs created. What to include in the Main Street District? The total number of new businesses opened, the total number of businesses closed, and again, this is over a reporting period of a month, total number of businesses expanded or grew, total number of businesses that located to or out of the district. Now, this also includes businesses that move to and from your district in and out of your community. So we'll give go ahead and give an example now. If you have a retail business that moved from your mall that's out on the outskirts of your town, outside of your district, and it moves to your downtown, that is called a business that's located to your downtown. Ownership changes, you should try to always identify the previous owner, the new owner, the amount they paid for the business, and any other financial terms. This is just good information to collect. It definitely can help you with demonstrating the economic impact, and it works with other businesses in your district to understand, what's fair market value, what type of businesses our investment is going on around us right now, and it definitely works with other prospects also. And of course, then you're looking at full and part-time job creation as well as loss. The best way to collect this information is from the program. The program director can do it a lot of times themselves. However, we like to recommend that an ER committee be responsible for this, and that way they are more in tune and communicate better with the downtown business owners. And they're just monitoring the business mix, what opened, what closed, and all the changes in ownership, and it gives everybody the opportunity to discuss the what is going on. Okay, are there any questions? And I think we do have any questions. You can raise your hand. I can put you on audio if you'd like to speak to all of us. Okay. No questions. Okay. Moving on. The local program contribution. This can be sometimes a daunting task to collect this information. It's something that you should definitely put on the shoulders of your volunteers and your committee chairs to put together a system to where this information can be collected. But you're looking for the total number of volunteers, the number of volunteer hours donated, the number of special events that you have had, the number of retail promotions, and the number of image activities. In the comments and additional detail section of the tutorial, which we'll go through this way, is where you will want to report all the titles and types and activities and the events that you have had over your previous month. You want to always include all your special events, your festivals, your retail promotions, your downtown business events, and all your other image activities that promote not only the programs that you have going downtown, but the long-term image promotion for your Main Street district. And always report any activity where partnerships have occurred, whether that be with the Chamber of Commerce, been with other organizations, whether it's been with youth groups or church groups or Boy Scouts, whatever that might be, but you definitely want to include and show how the partnerships that you're developing with your organizations are working to help. Okay, we have a question. All right, that one's got answered, looks like. Okay, moving on. And another little, look like tutor should be tutorial. Okay, we're going to portal now to the Main Street website. Now, the website can be found at illinoismainstreet.org. I'm sure that many of you have been on this. It's an ever-growing website with a lot of information coming up, and I know Mitzi with the Illinois Main Street program is working diligently to put calendars up as well as other resources. So it's going to be ever-growing and will be your common place of meeting for your Illinois Main Street activity, as well as it is for your reporting. If you look in the upper right-hand corner near the search bar, there is a login function that is where that you will log in to do your monthly reporting or to collect old reports. So when you click on that, it will bring up your web authentication portal. Okay. Now, of all the attendees today, just kind of looking at who's in attendance with us right now. Some of you had problems with getting the password. Some of you just had problems and it went right through. First off, I want to apologize for the difficulties for those of you that did have it. It's a difficulty when you're dealing with the security that takes place in the Illinois Main Street servers, or the Illinois government servers. It's very difficult to bring in an external person to access their servers, so there has to be a lot of security protocol that you have to go through. We feel we're very close, if not have worked out most of the bugs in the system, and people are responding with very few complaints at this stage. So we hope that it works that way for you also. Now, this is the web authentication portal that it just pulled up. It asks for your username and password, but I also do want to bring this up here at the top. This is up to you when and how you want to use this. The state of Illinois is going to require you to change your password periodically. It falls under different categories for different people, but it will roughly be between 30 and 90 days of use that you will be required to change your password. Now, using just common password common sense, we recommend that you change your password every single month. However, that's up to you. You will be notified via email when you'll need to change your password, and you can do it off of that email, or it's much simpler just to do it here. If you choose to change your password, all that you have to do is merely come up to I want to change password after login and click that particular arrow. As you can see, it says that once you log in with your old password, it will take you to the next screen. I'm not going to do it today with risk of losing a password setting. but it's a very simple process. The next screen will have you put in your old password, and then you'll have to come up with your new password according to their criteria, which you'll put it in once and then put it in twice to make sure that you have spelled both correctly, and then your password is automatically changed. If for some reason you have lost your password, and that it could be very common with this system, because when you do collect your password, when you were assigned your password, there was not a confirmation email went out that gave you that password. You put it in, you got a confirmation email so that you are now allowed to go onto the Illinois reporting site for Main Street, but you did not get a copy of that password. So when you secure your password, please write it down and put it in a secure location so that you can remember it. It's because of the protocol that's used in creating these passwords. It's not like you can just put in your mother's maiden name and your birth year and you can go with that, okay? So you have to put a capital letter, so many letters and numbers to get the security at a level that will be acceptable to be on a state server. So it's up to you how you want to change your password. If you just want to wait until you get the email notifications and change it at time, you're more than fine in doing that. If by chance you go past the time that they allot you to change your password, you will have to call CMS customer service. I cannot help you with it because I do not have a record of your password, nor does anybody at the state of Illinois. They have to delete your password and you have to give them an entire new one. That number is 1-800-366-8768. I will have that number in print for you at the conclusion of our presentation. Okay, to sign in with the username, you put in your first name and your last name separated by a period. And then you put in your password that you picked whenever you secured your Illinois government ID, and you click login. Make sure that it goes to external / first name period last name. If it does not do that, you can give me a call or you can give the CMS customer service and we can help you through in fixing that for you. But what external means, while I'm waiting for this to pull up, means that you are an external user of a state server. That means you're not an employee. It's basically giving you security access as a guest to the state server. Okay. All right. While it's pulling up, are there any questions at this time? If you want to go audio, just raise your hand and I will put you on. Takes just a little bit for it to pull up here, so bear with us as we're waiting. It is pulling up now. Now, I want to just caution you, my reporting system might look just a little bit different than the than what yours might. I have general administration rights to this database server, so I have access to more information than what you have. So, but in the upper left-hand corner, you will notice that you have the Submit Reports and View Past Reports. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on the Submit Portion function. Now, in giving you what I just said, that I have admin rights to this particular database, I am not assigned a particular community. So When we get done with my report here, it will not have a particular community name, but you will see how everything plays through. Okay. Now, the month, we will, from the pull-down menu, you select the most previous month, November. It is 2011. There is a pull-down menu that you can put in 2012 when you get to next month. Number of building renovations. I'm going to put that we've had 2 this month. The total dollar amount was $350,000. And that's between both of the buildings. The number of new buildings in new construction is we had 1. And the total dollar amount was $100,000. I run a very active Main Street community, as you can see in my Lego world. Building sold. Number of buildings sold was 1. Total dollar amount was $25,000. If you'll notice down here at the bottom, there's a field that has popped up that this is a total of the private sector investment of $475,000. You don't have to add that up. The system will do that for you. Number of projects that you've had that had public sector investment. We can say that we have a streetscape project going on as well as some lighting projects, so there's 2. Total dollars spent this particular month, because it is an ongoing project and we're documenting it as we go along, there's been $35,000 spent this month according to the Public Works Director. Now you can see the total private and public sector investment as now up to $510,000. Okay. The number of businesses opened is 1. The number of businesses closed is 3. As you can see, the net gain or loss is a -2 businesses that we have lost this particular month. Okay, pay careful attention to this next section. This, in my experience with this is where communities sometimes have difficulty in determining what to put in this particular section. But in the number of business expansions, relocations, or changes of ownership to downtown, this information is collected holistically and in aggregate. So you have to basically come up with the information. If you had 2 business expansions, 1 relocation, but you had 3 ownership changes, this would actually go in as a 0. And you're saying, well, what does that possibly mean? The main thing here that we're looking for is just having a whole number put into this category, because what is actually taking place will follow through in your comments and additional detail section at the bottom down here. Okay? All right, we'll leave that particular one blank. Full-time jobs created. You have walked around your businesses and you have found out that they have created in the one business that opened, they had 1 full-time job, and a couple other businesses did add, and you've got a total of 4 full-time jobs that have been created, and you've had some part-time jobs that have been decreased, and that's been a total of, we will say, 6. And if you'll notice, I entered that as a negative number when there are job losses. Okay, I'm reading questions. Okay. A couple are having technical difficulties, but it looks like that it's not. Okay, to answer a few questions. Judy has asked if there's official classification of business type. No, there is not. It's not required with this. Diane Williams with BDI consulted with us and said that she prefers that building owners doing it themselves for the work should apply the hourly rate by contract labor in their area. Similar to what I said, but she's clarified it better for me. Thank you, Diane. Adam has asked, did you say the information will be available via email? Not email, but it will be posted on the IllinoisMainStreet.org website. Okay. Judy has also asked for multi-phase projects that include streetscape, curbs, sidewalks, street lights, road surfacing, etc. Do we have do it to separate all the elements, or can we include it in one large project? You can include it in one large project, but what I would do is in the down at the bottom in the extra comment section, throw in the items that were included in that particular number. You don't have to break it down in a dollar fashion per each one of the projects. Okay? All right. Moving on. Sure, I'm checking to make sure that no one else has any questions. Okay, it says, are projects completed by Main Street public or private? That can be a call on your own. It's basically if it's funded, where did the funds come from? Was it raised from the public sector totally? Was there private funding? That can be your own call on how it's done. But I would say more times than not, you would do it as a public sector for a lot of your projects because you are a public entity. Okay. Now, down at moving on to local Main Street program contribution. Number of volunteers that you had that particular month that committed that have documented that they have worked on projects for the Main Street program. We can say that there was 34. Number of volunteer hours that were donated. We will say that there was 145. 245 is a little much. We'll say 145. Number of special events you had 1. Number of retail promotions, you had 1. And number of image activity, you had 0. Okay? Now, you will notice that I did I need to put that up here also. Any place that has an asterisk, as you can see, I've scrolled up here. Any of these that have asterisks on them, they are required fields, so you will have to put 0 on this. One thing I do want to clarify on this, certain browsers do not require you to fill in all fields and versions of browsers. Without confusing you, I'm not going to go through it. What I will just tell you is when you go to click OK out of the system, if you have to put something in all the fields with an asterisk, it won't let you out of it. So just put either NA or 0 in there, something to that effect. Okay? All right. You can come down here and put in comments and additional details. You can say that we had a taste of Main Street that took place, and you can say that that was on 11/5/11. Okay, you can put dates, you can put in the amount of information. However much you want to document in here is up to you. I will tell you that succinct to the point is really where you need to be. You don't really need to prepare long drafts of information in this. Bullet points will work as long as you are able to get your point across. Okay. The last section in here before I answer some more questions is suggestions for the Illinois Main Street. We want to have more webinars that every function works from a techie point of view. Okay. Now you'll notice that my particular browser picked up that there is a spelling error. Webinars is not in this particular dictionary. If you want to spell checks, and please do, click on the spell function check up at the upper left-hand corner before you hit submit. And again, it's just right here, and it will help you spell check, very similar to the spell check that works on your word processor. Okay. Anybody want to raise their hand and with a verbal question? Yes, we have one. Pam, go ahead. Oh, Pam, lost you. I'm not sure where you went. See if I can pick you up in the questions. If you would, Pam, put your question or raise your hand again, and I will pick you up. For some reason, you left when I went to pick you up. Okay, hand has gone back down again. Okay. I'm going through questions. There's several that have been on here. I'm just deleting to make sure that they have all been checked. Okay, Victoria with Springfield, you said you haven't been able to get on the system yet. Yeah, we're aware of your problem, and I think you're the last one that is having an issue. I will, if you're available, I can contact you after the webinar today or at a time that is most convenient for you. I'm sorry about your problems that you've been having. Okay, just going through all the questions, making sure there's no other. If you have any questions, please post them now. Raise your hand. Pam, you should be online. Can you voice your question? Pam, are you there? There it is. Okay, well, she's posted it as verbal. It's not coming through on the audio. What is the difference between a special event and an image event? Special event is an event that is hosted for a specific cause for your downtown, where an image event is more to promote the beauty, the uniqueness, the atmosphere, the historic aspects of your downtown. There easily could be a variety of events that could be either a special and or image event. Pick which you think it is and call it that, and no one will hold up on that as to how you choose to classify that. Okay. All right. See if there's any more questions. Judy has asked, should we go back and edit submitted reports to include event and project detail in the comments section? No, not really. If you would, because these reports are going to be used on a monthly basis and used quarterly and that type of thing, if you go back and edit data or try to, it could manipulate the data in some way, even if it was just in the comments section. just from this point forward, if you would, just include data as you see fit, and be as thorough in your comment section as you need to be to clarify the activity that precisely that's been going on. Okay. All right. No other. Okay. Pam says, do you count a volunteer each time they work for a Main Street or a committee? If it's included, if it's reported, if it's reported on in this month, and it was a volunteer activity that took place this month, yes, you could, those are volunteers that are working on that particular project. Just because it's the same person doing a variety of events for you throughout the year, a variety of projects, that's still volunteer labor. So yes, include it monthly according to the events and according to the time that they have spent that particular month in working. Wanda from Lincoln has asked what reports should have been submitted by now. For the most part, get in November's. Okay, if there is a problem with that, Mitzi will get in touch with you to collect some additional reports. Some of the communities have started reporting in September and October and have never skipped a beat. Others have had some difficulties. Others have not. So if you would, get November's in, but of course the first full report is December. But try to get in November's if you can tomorrow. Okay, are there any other questions before I hit submit report? Okay. Again, apologize for the audio. We're not sure exactly what possibly could be in that, but I think everybody's getting their questions across, so please use the question function to get everything, all your questions answered in the question category. Okay, now we're going to move on to the submit. After you spell checked it, you've gone it over a few times, hit OK. Now there's an OK up at the top, and there's an OK down at the bottom. And again, while this is churning a little bit, again, here's incoming reports. It takes a while for the server. As you can see, it's in progress here. This is my last report here. This incoming report, it will actually have your community name on here where I have no title, but that will be included on here, and it will go on into the report function. But this is just its incoming. It makes sure that there is no security issues with what's been happening, because this is an area where viruses could be submitted, and it's just challenging to look at all of the different project or all the different data that's coming in. But once you can go and look, and then you can go back and view past reports. Now again, you can see a variety of the communities are in here right now, but these are all because I have access to each one of the communities. But you can scroll down, and as you can see, this is my community. This has been a question on a lot of communities that has been doing a little bit of work. They don't scroll down far enough because they see all the blank. If you're wondering these blanks are in here between all of this, it's because somebody, when they report, this is just an Excel and database spreadsheet, they put a lot in the comment section. Since there's so much comment section, it takes up a lot of space. So just scroll down, there's information out there. So scroll down, and as you can see, again, I want to remind you, I'm pulling up all the communities that have been submitted thus far, but the ones but the one that you're looking at is this particular report here at the bottom. It's what I just put in. Okay. All right. Use these reports in the best. You can actually click up here at the top. You'll notice there's a private amount of investment for building rehabilitation. If I click that down arrow, I can sort this by smallest to the top or largest on the top. Sorry about that. and you can or you can click it if you're looking for particular numbers. It will pull it up. What I find to be much more user friendly is to export this to a spreadsheet. Before we do that, I want to answer any questions that you might have, so I'm pulling up the question now. Judy wants to know, can we save a copy for our own records? Okay, I'm getting ready to answer that, Judy. And the way that we're doing this is going to export it to a spreadsheet. You can also do a simple cut and paste function out of it. It's probably not as clean for you. It will stay on the server, but I understand if you want a backup copy, you can definitely get to that. Robert has asked, after submission, can the report be edited? I'm going to be quite frank with you right now. Yes, it can be. When a few bugs are worked out of the system, there will be at a point where no, once it's submitted and it's past a deadline of submission, you cannot go back and edit it yet. That's taking a little bit more time with the state's database managers to get this worked out than what they thought. But as of right now, yes, it can be edited, but we encourage you to please get it as included as in detail and as close to possible for your particular monthly report. Are there any other questions? Okay. All right, the report has been submitted. Now, pay particular attention to this next part. It's something that I just have to talk it through and show it through, so make sure you got pencil and paper there handy to write down what you have to do on this. To export this to an Excel spreadsheet, what you need to do is go up and hit Actions, Export to Spreadsheet. And it says here you must have a SharePoint Services compatible application. Basically, the Microsoft Office Suite Excel Access is compatible. Outside of that, you will just have to try it and see if it works. If you have problems, let me know. I've tested it with both PC and Mac Microsoft products, and it works with both versions. As you can see, okay. Now you can either save file or open. I'm just going to go ahead and open it because you can always save it later. And as you can see, spreadsheet is starting to open. Now, you will get a splash window like this on almost every time you do this. It is a security function. This is to because you are actually getting information from servers. So you have to enable this. You just simply click on Enable. This will pull up another window. And if you will notice, this again is a login sheet. Now, you have to click on this. You have to type in external / and again, / goes to the left. Put in your username, which is your first name, period, last name, and put in your same password. And hit OK. As you can see, now I have it in spreadsheet format, which makes it a lot more easier for me to deal with and manipulate and make my reports as I need. Okay? Now you can sort your fields, and it's not a spreadsheet webinar, but most of you, I'm sure, are very comfortable in how that you use that. Okay. Now, Wanda, you have a question? Wanda, you're on. Can you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My question is the reports that we have to fill in. Can we have a hard copy of those so that as we go through the month we can add to those?
Yes, you can put those time just directly from this sheet here. Just hit the, hit your browser and hit print, and it'll print them. Print it directly from the web, from your, before you hit OK. You can do it there also, or print it from this spreadsheet. Does that answer your question?
Well, I was talking more about the report that we fill in online rather than the spreadsheet in itself.
Okay, it's the same report, Wanda.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same report. There's no difference between them. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, moving on. Now, we've looked at the past reports and submit reports. I've taken you up and showed you how to export it to a spreadsheet. That is the function, and it's very simple to use at this particular point, or we think it is. Before we move on to another topic, what questions do you have about the how to report? Wow, you're making me feel good. There's 27 of you out there, and either you can't hear me or I did a good job. I'm going to say I did a good job sitting here by my lonesome. Okay, we do have, we are just wrapping up here, so there's just a few things left to go over. I just very quickly want to show you the listserv that is you, your board members, and what have you. To the Illinois Main Street .org main website, down to the bottom of the home page, you can go to Google Groups. It will pull up this particular screen. Now, you do not have to have a Google account to sign up for a Google group with Illinois Main Street. And again, to use this as a listserv, to get in contact with not only other Illinois Main Street directors, once this becomes fully utilized, you'll be able to get to other consultants that have that are using this particular program, state agency people, IHPA individuals, as well as other individuals from the Main Street community across the nation. It's just going to be the Illinois Main Street listserv in your portal. Now, you can sign in and apply for membership to this particular group just by clicking here on the left. Now, to sign up for, if you already have a Google account, and that's a Gmail account, just put it in here and put in your password. If you do not, just sign up for a new Google account up in here in the upper right-hand corner. Of course, they want you to get a Gmail account. You don't want to do that, and you can use email. Or if you have another email provider that's not one of these more common public domain type email servers, you can use a different email. Okay? So it's very simple to use this. Click. All you have to do is forward the IllinoisMainStreet.org website to your board members, to volunteers, and they can all be a part of this community-wide, Illinois Main Street community-wide information portal. I'm going to go ahead and sign in now, and I've left this up here. These are 4 emails that I have associated with my name that I use for a variety of different purposes. I've tied them all into this It's all tied to my Gmail account. And it just has, and I can just pick whichever one of those I want to type in there, so I don't have to remember every time which it is. And you can do that with Gmail. So just want to tell you, you don't have to have a Gmail account to use this particular function. But I'm going to put in my password. And again, it looks slightly different like you. I'm an administrator for this particular group. But when you go to home, you can now see that here's where the discussions are at. Mitzi and I had a conversation a couple of months ago, just when we got it launched. We really haven't delivered this out here to any great detail yet. As you can see, we have 20 members. You can view them all. If you want to post a new post, all you do is just like an email. You don't even have, if you want to CC it to somebody that you think is outside of this database, that's fine. For the most part, you would rarely ever use that. Just put in a subject that you're wanting to do. You can just put in testing and type away. Can you hear me? Okay. And all you have to do is post the message. Okay. It'll appear there in just a few short moments. Again, it's just going through servers and that type of thing, so it just takes it a while to get ready. But now what that's done is that's gone out to everybody's email, and as you can see, it's up here. Now people can start finding it, and you can reply directly from your email, just as you do on any listserv that you might already currently be a part of. You don't have to log into this every single time. You don't even have to log into it ever again once you've done this, because if you save this address down here at the bottom in your address book, anytime you email that, it goes out to everybody. So if you just put that in your email address, that goes out. That question that you're posting or any discussion topic that you want to start, just go to your normal email function software that you use day in and day out, send an email to that particular address, and you can do quite a bit of discussion there right over your email. You never have to log back into this group. If you would like to invite other members, and we encourage you to click on the invite over in the far right hand corner here. Put in the email addresses of all of your board members, all your volunteers, people that you think that would enjoy and gain information by joining in joint discussions about Illinois Main Street programs. You can put a message in here if you want. Just put in all of their addresses, and you just put them in one at a time, and just hit return, and then hit invite members. It's a very simple process. Okay. Questions? We are wrapping up. We've gone over just a few minutes. Not too bad with a couple of little difficulties we had there. I appreciate everybody staying with me. What questions do we have in the final wrap-up? I've posted a slide up here for you. This is your username and allow name. Wanda's got a question. Hold on just a second. Wanda, go ahead.
I forgot what it was. If we need help with what we just went through with the Gmail,
yeah,
do we call you?
Yep. And I'm going to give you my contact information here in just another slide.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, problems with the password. If you have passwords with logging on, you're going to probably have to contact the help desk, and I'll give you that number here in the next slide. There is very little I can do for you in this regard, and Lord knows I have tried the last few weeks to try and help, but it's out of my realm. I just don't have access to the necessary security that I need. You will be required to change your password periodically. I just want to relay this back to you again. you're only allowed one user per program. And in most cases, it's the program director. I guess in some places we do have a few board chairmen that are the ones that are responsible for doing the monthly reporting. But you have each Main Street program must designate only one person that can do the monthly reporting. If that person changes for any reason, notify Mitzi or let me know, or both of us know, would be probably ideal, excuse me, and then we can get you a new Illinois government ID established and that person a password. Okay? This is generally the two numbers that you're going to need most for technical assistance. Now, for general program, what to include in the monthly report, just general questions of, what to include in your data entries, please direct those towards Mitzi because she's going to be the final call on that. However, for technical difficulties with either using the reporting problem, the website in general, or in dealing with the listserv that we went over very briefly, give me a call, give me an email. I'll get back with you very quickly and hopefully get your problem resolved. And if you just need your password reset because you went past the time in getting all of it put together, you can contact the CMS Customer Service Help Desk at 1-800-366-8768.